Hello, welcome to the Wealth Transfer, where we talk about global economics and biblical principles and protecting and preserving your family's wealth, because what is coming, we better be protected and preserved. I am Terry Sacka. I'm the Chief Strategist, and I'm along with Dr. Charles Vance. Charles?
Terry, it's always great to be on the program. You are so enlightening with information.
I appreciate that.
I tell people that you're a wealth of knowledge when it comes to finances, that people just need to listen. In fact, that was one of the reasons I told you need to be on television about 4 years ago. You kicking and screaming finally decided to do it.
I tell you, and to this day, I still get just hammered by the opposition. The advisors, the bankers, and you know what? I have multiple financial licenses, and they can't tell me anything I don't already know. I used to be there, you see. I was in that world, and I'm not now. We're just refiners. So it's the big difference. We the people in the kingdom, have to heed the warnings that are taking place. We've called this two things. There's a Joseph moment taking place, storing up of provisions and being prepared. And then there's the discernment, which a Jabez, not a Jabez prayer. The other one is where we have, it's a time and a season of discernment.
Sure. And
we better be prepared to have that discernment, because what is taking place right now in the global economic depressionary state, and believe me when I say it's a depression out there right now, they're just not showing you. And I'm here to show you over the next probably 4 or 5 weeks tremendously thick data on exactly what's happening, so you can gauge what I'm saying is true, not just because I'm saying it. Because what we started to outline last week in the banking system was what the war on cash is all about. How is that impacting us? What does it really mean? So I want to jump right in to get this definition clear, because I want you to clearly understand when you hear war on cash, when you hear negative interest rates, what does that really mean to you?
Explain the negative interest rates real quick, because when I first heard that, I thought, this is crazy.
Well, negative interest rates, it is. Negative interest rates means when you buy a bond, you were getting paid 3, 4, 5, 7% interest, right? For the bond. When you put your money in the bank, they would pay you interest, right?
Savings, like savings
account. A savings
and
account.
Some checking accounts.
And checking accounts, right. Negative interest rates means when you put your money in the bank, if it sits in the bank, they're going to charge you 1, 5, 10% weekly, monthly, until you spend it.
And there's a reason for that.
Because the economy is so bad, Keynesian Western economics says we must keep circulating money. And if the money is sitting stagnant, we are collapsing as an economy, which we already are. And so what they're trying to do through this concept of war on cash and negative interest rates is to get you to circulate your money, meaning spend it. Well, that's kind of silly. Why would we want to spend our hard-earned money all the time? You see, they're trying to give us these really bad money management principles.
Now,
and the Bible says what about being a good steward and manager, right?
The same thing doesn't happen when you take a silver coin and put it up in your safe.
I wasn't going to say that, but I'm glad you did.
Well, I need to mention it. I mean,
that's exactly
there's a few things that are still increasing in value over a period of time, and silver and gold are a couple of those things.
There's no doubt about that. As a matter of fact, silver and gold is the counterattack to the war on cash. And we're going to get into that more, but silver and gold is the answer to the war on cash, because if you're, instead of storing this that's losing value in a bank,
paying to store it and losing value,
and having someone having the ability to take it in bail-ins, wait till we get into these videos that we're going to show you later on, you have silver in a vault or silver in your home, whatever you choose to do. Private vaults, Brinks, IRAs, they have it in private vaults. And then you're not in the system. No third-party risk. That's why I'm passionate about it, of course.
Sure.
That's why we're refiners of silver. So let's go in and show this image of what this war on cash really looks like and what does it mean. Right now, the primary money aggregate, which is known as currency in circulation, is in these bars represented behind us. On the left, the red one, the tiny one on the left, is actually currency in circulation less the $100 bill. The green one in the center is total U.S. dollar currency in circulation with the $100 bill. The blue line on the right
No,
is...
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I do mean to interrupt you, but I don't mean to. The green, how come the green is so much larger?
Thank you.
I mean, look, we've got 1s, 5s, 10s,
and
20s,
50s.
and 50s.
The next picture I'll show this, but here's what that means. About 72% of all printed money in the United States are $100 bills.
Wow. I mean, you can see that by the graph behind us.
I know,
Okay.
I know. And there's a reason. Now watch how this plays out. So in the green there you see in the middle, that's all the printed money that they have in the United States. That's actually real money, something that can be used for buying and selling. That's it.
Currency.
Real currency, mind you, not a digit
Paper.
on a bank.
Right. It's just an actual tangible piece of currency you can pick up.
Yes. Now, the blue line is what is in the banking system.
No, wait a minute. Because that's not possible. If this is all they have, this is all that's been printed,
Yep.
it's not possible to have that much in the bank.
I know.
So how are they doing that?
Digits on a computer screen.
Now, how do they do that? How do they increase
Fractional
from that
banking.
little green line?
They bring in
That
one.
needs
They bring in
explained.
well. They bring in $1 to the bank, and they loan out $25.
So that's a law that was made by the government for
Yeah.
the banking system
Yeah.
that allows them to actually lend more money
Yes.
than they have.
Yes.
So they don't actually loan physically because it's not there.
Right.
So they can't loan as much more money than's in print,
Right.
or more currency than's
Right.
in print. So they're lending it to you in your checking account, on a loan,
On a
for
loan.
a car,
Now
or a
here's
home.
what's scary about that. The blue line represents how much all of you, the bank, our businesses, our churches, all of our hard-earned retirement and wealth that's in the bank is the blue line. It's not there.
So what would
It's not there. It is not there.
What would happen if we would try to go get it?
You couldn't.
Like if everybody, I mean, obviously one person at a
can't.
time could go get some money,
We can't.
but you can't go get all of your money.
You can't. It's not there. It's a digit on a computer screen.
It's just on an asset in a liability sheet.
It's a piece of
And
paper.
it's made
not
up.
there. It's made up.
Yeah.
But it's not made up because you went to work, put your check in the bank, you earned your money, put it in the bank, and that's the blue line. But the green line is all they have to give out. So if there's an emergency, what do you think is going to happen?
So first of all, this is not backed by anything now. Used to be.
No, it's not backed by gold and silver like it used to be.
backed by something tangible.
right.
You used to be able to trade. This is a silver certificate. You used to be able to take
silver.
this to the bank and trade it for 1 ounce of silver.
That's right.
Can't do that anymore because
No.
they did away with the silver basis.
Yes.
And gold is gone too. The gold standard is gone
Yes.
as well. So there's no standard as far as having to keep this in exchange for this. So you can't go to the bank and say, I want
Nope.
a silver dollar.
You can't do that.
Or you can't even say, this the last time we looked at this a couple of weeks ago was $15.50, somewhere around
Yeah.
there. You can't go say, I want to give you $15.50 and you give me a silver
No.
at the bank because they don't have
They don't have
anything tangible.
And then when you put this in the bank, you can't go back and get it.
because they're increasing
Well, put it this
with
way. Here's the real
fractional
number.
banking
Yeah, here's
and
the
loaning it
Here's
to
the real
people.
number. We, the people, churches and ministries, have put $9 trillion in the bank. So right now, in the banking system, on the books are $9 trillion of our hard-earned cash. But if you notice in the green, it's not there because we only have roughly 600 billion because, mind you, there's about 1.3 trillion printed paper dollars in value. Half of it's overseas in overseas hands and government hands. Half of it's in the United States.
How many trillions a bank showing again?
9.
So total print less than 2 trillion. Total print of U.S. currency.
1.3 total.
Oh, okay. Almost 1 trillion, or just a little
Yes.
over 1 trillion.
And 9 trillion in the
9
bank,
trillion
though.
on the bank books.
Yes.
That actually exists that doesn't exist.
That's right. That we earned but isn't convertible.
So you got a check
Yeah.
instead of somebody handing you cash.
Yes.
Certainly nobody handed you
No.
silver.
Well, the
when you
important
were
part
working
is
for
this is
someone.
if there's an emergency, when this happens, that's happening. When what is going to happen. We don't know what banks are going to get hit and how deep. Wait till you see how much trouble they're in. But when this happens, what is going to happen to our IRAs and retirement accounts? You think you're going to the bank and you're going to pull out your money? You can't even do it right now. If you want to go to your bank right now and get $20,000 in cash to have as emergency, because if a bank closes the door, if the power goes out, if we get an EMP blast, we get anything that shuts down the system, if they turn off the system, what are you going to do to buy food? How are you going to function and survive? If you don't have any of this and you don't have silver as money, what are you going to do when you go to the bank? Because remember, $9 trillion is in there. What are you going to do about everything you've worked hard for if you're not properly positioned? So, the most important investment you can make is in education. And remember, an education starts here, and let's do that by knowing where to go. Register for information at our website. Give us a call if you have IRAs to protect, cash to protect, because you need to be in tangible assets. Good place to get started.
Cornerstone Asset Metals is here to help you protect and preserve what you have worked hard to gain. For those who have IRAs to protect, 401ks to preserve, or cash in the bank, we would like to send you a package of information regarding the changes to the dollar and the challenges of our economy that you need to be prepared for. This package includes how easy it is to roll over your current IRA or 401k into a physical precious metals IRA for long-term protection of your hard-earned wealth. For those of you with cash to invest, we can arrange to have your precious metals stored in a private vault or simply send it to your home. Call or register now.
That's a very good point. It's a very good point what happened here. Charles is bringing up a point here during that promo. We don't realize that the blue line behind us is $9 trillion of your hard-earned money that you put in the bank. But there's only the green line actually in the bank. So if 100 of you show up at your bank at the same time and want your money, you can't get it. Matter of fact, I say probably 10 of you, you can't get it. So what's important to understand...
That's why they tell you have to wait.
You can't wait because it's crazy. It's chaos. Let's say things are breaking down.
But I mean today. Like today, if you would go.
You can't.
They tell you if you want $20,000, you can't get it today.
No.
You'd clean the local bank out.
You can't. Yeah, they won't. They have to order it through the Treasury.
Exactly.
Yeah. They don't because the blue and the green
Terry,
line.
I was saying during the promo, and they caught us off guard when they came back, but I will say I couldn't believe this. When I learned this 10 years ago, I couldn't believe fractional banking existed. To me, it was so bizarre that anybody could, first of all, come up with this concept and then have the government build laws around it so that it was legal. Because you can't do that. I can't do it as an individual, but there are such laws and regulations on this banking, these banking regulations that holds this stuff in such a tight little family of people. That's why you were telling us on the first segment of the program that the big banks have gobbled up the little banks. We talked about yesterday.
Now, what's doing is it's all designed about control.
Sure.
And so the reason I'm leaving this image up behind us for so long is I want people to really digest the image of blue to green. Blue is all of our retirement wealth. In the banking system, the green is the only thing available. Now remember, we're talking about real money to buy a bread, food, and do things is the green.
Does this even include the stock market?
No.
This is just printed currency.
Printed money in the bank, and that's it.
The stock market, this blue line would be somewhere up to our 14-foot ceiling.
We're going to show a video on that. You wouldn't even believe it. Yes. Blue line is pure and simply our hard-earned paychecks and savings. That's all that is. The green line is the only thing available. The important thing is, if we have an emergency, you're not going to have what you have. That's why we advocate silver in a vault, or silver because it doesn't belong to the system. So watch this next image now. We're ready to move on to this. This is the value of U.S. currency in circulation. It's a visual now. The actual dollar bill note, you see Franklin there, 33rd degree palladium member, by the way, but Franklin there is the $100 bill in circulation.
Okay.
So I know you said what is what. The actual Franklin image are all the $100 bills in circulation, because you remember, 1.3 trillion in paper money, 70+% are $100 bills. And you're going to see why I'm going here. The little tiny line below that, the black one, are $50 bills. The green are $20 bills. Here's a great picture here. So you can see $100 bills make up the majority of all printed real money with the real ability to buy something. $50 bills are very small. So 50, I would encourage people, if you are going to want any currency at all for your mattress, $50 bills would be better than hundreds, and I'm going to tell you why. And then green are 20s, and then look how tiny 10s, 5s, 2s, and 1s are. They're almost non-existent in our system. So the reason this is so absolutely essential to understand, 70+% of all printed money in circulation are $100 bills. Well, the crony, Larry Summers, out of the Harvard League group type people, the finance banking guys, the one they wanted to put up there as a central bank head, which is absolutely insane, who's tied to the Clintons and such. Larry Summers came out, and I could say all this because he said it, so I have no problem repeating what he said. The European Union came out about a month ago and banned the 500 euro note, took it out of circulation. Now the 500 euro note is 70+% of their printed money. Now, Larry Summers comes out right after that and advocates that the United States should eliminate the $100 bill. Now, what is that going to do for you? If 70% of our printed money is $100 bills, most of it's in mattresses, it's, people have it in safes, it's like, this is what people hide for their future. If that's the case, they're going to force you to put the $100 bill back in the bank.
Now, what are they going to...
I'm going there.
By doing that, are they going to make the $100 bill
absolutely
non-usable?
Remember, we had a $500 bill.
Right.
We had a $1,000 bill.
So the only
Do we
value,
use them?
No, the only
Right.
value they have now is for a
no,
collector.
their value. No, you can use them for it.
You can go to the bank
Sure,
and use them?
but you can't find them.
Right.
They've taken them out of circulation.
Right. So every time they come into the bank, they eliminate that
Or they're not coming to the bank because now they're collectible, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
The $100 bill, as you bring them to the bank, they'll destroy them.
Right.
Now, why would they want you to put the $100 bill in the bank? This is where negative interest rates come in. Negative interest rates is a tax. Now, let me repeat that. A tax, without them saying tax, Obamacare, is a tax on your money. So what they're going to do, force you to put the money in the bank and then tax you 5, 10%, whatever the number is. If you do not spend your money, they're going to tax you weekly, monthly, to force you to spend your money. So you will not do it. That is what the war on cash is about, and what the AKA negative interest rates is about. It is a tax on your currency. Now, why do they need to do that? Is the economy is collapsing globally. They need you to spend your money. So if they take the $100 bill out of circulation, force you to put it in the bank and spend it, then they can control you. Ideal utopic socialist communist worldview, AKA one side of the political spectrum, they would love to have a digital currency, no physical cash whatsoever. Why?
Can we say mark of the beast over here
Mark
on this
of the
side?
beast. And they want to be able to have 100% spying and control and visual of everything you do with your money. Now, I personally don't believe that's going to happen anytime soon, because we the people are smarter than that. So why would we want to have cash in the bank and then be subject to taxation? How do we get around that? Well, you get around it by taking that worthless paper money and holding on to constitutional money. Article 1, Section 8 says Congress has a right to coin money. Money was defined as grains of silver. Silver was always our real U.S. dollar. 2, silver was always biblical money. So why would we keep paper money in the bank if we really understood the concept? Because silver has been the best performing asset class in the last 10 years, gold and silver, and is far superior. If we would have been in it since they came off the dollar, we'd be infinitely wealthier today. So why are we not doing that? It's mainly because we don't understand. So I encourage you that have IRAs and 401ks, go to our website after the show, register for information. We'll help you transfer to a precious metals IRA. We'll help you put that worthless currency into physical silver in private vaults. But more importantly, we the kingdom are protected. Get information. Here's a good place to get started.
Cornerstone Asset Metals is here to help you protect and preserve what you have worked hard to gain. For those who have IRAs to protect, 401ks to preserve, or cash in the bank, we would like to send you a package of information regarding the changes to the dollar and the challenges of our economy that you need to be prepared for. This package includes how easy it is to roll over your current IRA or 401k into a physical precious metals IRA for long-term protection of your hard-earned wealth. For those of you with cash to invest, we can arrange to have your precious metals stored in a private vault or simply send it to your home. Call or register now.
Now, the reason this is important, cash is one thing, because remember, cash in your hand, the bearable of that cash, you can always buy something with, right? Credit cards you can only use when it's not turned off. I'm sure all of you have had that episode. I have plenty of times. You're at dinner and your card is declined, fraudulent or whatever, who knows what. If they go to digital, mind you, I didn't finish that part of it. Once they go full digital, which I don't believe they can right this minute, but they're trying to fool you into letting them do it. If they go full digital and you're non-compliant politically, or you don't go along with what they tell you, they're going to turn you off and you can't use your card at Mark of the Beast. Now, with that said, with the currency and everything else we have, why was this all, what has been going on? The last 40 years, we have had only so much currency, but they've allowed the banking system to create money out of thin air, known as credit. We just told you not too long ago at the beginning of the show where we have $1 trillion in credit card debt in we the people. We're living off of credit. The danger of this, though, means we're living off of money that doesn't exist. And it's very important to know why, when we brought up the Iran, China, and Russia angle to destroy the dollar, how it's going to take down our standard of living and why we need to be prepared as we the people in the kingdom. Because if we're properly positioned in the right asset when this takes place, we're not going to lose our wealth. The wealth transfer is going to come to us. Now look at this image here. Behind me is a total credit market of the nation since we came off the gold standard. Remember, this was in the 1970s, 1971. Our dollar bill actually was backed up by gold. And then we got off that and became just what we call fiat fake float paper note. And so this total credit market image gives you an idea of why we're in trouble as it is from the beginning, from the 1970s. Of course, we can't see it, so we can't explain it to the people. There it is. On the left side there, you notice it's nothing. But then you notice the line escalate dramatically to the right. And if you notice on the far right gray shade where it blipped for a second, that was the '08 collapse. But look at how much credit has expanded since 2008. We haven't learned as a nation. So we are living and functioning as a nation off of fake credit. So the total U.S. credit market debt is staggering $62 trillion.
That's inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
Yeah, I mean, when I say that, I mean people can't really conceive how much money that is.
I know, but look at this next image here. This next image are the 3 Shemitah peaks, by the way. I know people either believe or don't. And contractions. The one on the left was the dot-com boom, and then the collapse of 2000, 2001. And then we had the collapse of '08, which is known as the housing bubble. They always got a name for them, even though it's just bad money management. And then look at the expansion of credit, fake digits in the cosmos since the 2008 collapse. We call it the current bubble. Look how staggering it is above everything we've ever known. Look at this. It's just staggering. The last 20 years, we've never gone this high in credit expansion.
Now, it looks like it's easing its way back down.
No, it's not. No, you'll be surprised. But look, it's collapsing. That's why.
Oh, okay.
So really soak this image up, and then I'll wrap up the show with this. Understand this is this important. The expansion of credit has not been good. What you have seen is what they call a recovery from the 2008 market collapse has been nothing more than creating fake money out of thin air, and as you can see, it's on the verge of collapse. Everything it doesn't just keep going straight up. If you notice, the great hits we've taken in the last 20 years have always had a pretty big downside. And as you notice, our current bubble, we haven't had the downside yet. Charles tried to put it in there, but what we see right now is just a little blip. The downside I'm talking about is staggering. So get protected. Don't underestimate it. Don't sit there and say, we've been talking about it for so long, it's not happening. It's coming quicker than you think. Why would you wait until the end when it's too late? Plan ahead. It's a Joseph moment in time. And next week, we're going to go deeper into this. God bless you.
Remember, you can watch these programs on demand at CornerstoneAssetMetals.com, and be sure to join us next week, same place, same time, right here for more of the Wealth Transfer.
Cornerstone Asset Metals has focused on using gold and silver reserves to protect your assets from volatile currencies. Another hard asset that is just as important for your sustainability is food. We believe that preparation is a key to being successful in an unstable economic environment, so we started CAM Ready Food just for you. The Bible tells us that Joseph used the resources of Egypt to prepare for a global famine by storing up food in a time of plenty. His preparation not only preserved the lives of his family, but many others as well. At Cornerstone, we believe the time is now to re-examine this biblical lesson so that you and your family can be prepared for any disaster, job loss, food shortage, or economic instability. You can start preparing today by visiting our website, camreadyfood.com, because food truly is the ultimate currency. Cornerstone Asset Metals is here to help you protect and preserve what you have worked hard to gain. For those who have IRAs to protect, 401ks to preserve, or cash in the bank, we would like to send you a package of information regarding the changes to the dollar and the challenges of our economy that you need to be prepared for. This package includes how easy it is to roll over your current IRA or 401k into a physical precious metals IRA for long-term protection of your hard-earned wealth. For those of you with cash to invest, we can arrange to have your precious metals stored in a private vault or simply send it to your home. Call or register now